Cult members, and welcome to Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
And welcome to our reaction review discussion of episode 7 of Marvel's What If. And this one is, what if Thor were an only child? Which is nothing to do with the actual episode itself.
Right. Well, yeah.
This episode is, what if Party Thor was Party Thor?
Right. From the beginning.
Yeah. And never had the realization of the love of his brother kind of thing. Like that's Loki's story arc. Really, a lot of Loki's story arc is that he ultimately comes to really do love his brother, even if he is the adopted brother and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But this episode was much more about, what if that reckless version of Thor was just allowed to
keep going,
let loose?
Because he was, like, in the very beginning, in the very first Thor movie, he was, because Odin says, you're not ready to be the king of Asgard, and sends him off to Midgard, to Earth, to, I don't know, learn his lesson, grow up, whatever. So this was him. That stuff never happened because Loki wasn't his brother, always trying to get his dad's approval.
Right.
And then they didn't learn that he wasn't his brother, which kind of was the catalyst for all the other things that happened between Thor and Loki and Earth and all of that.
and Odin and Freya and everybody and stuff like that.
This was very much a He-Man episode.
It was very much a He-Man episode. We were just in Vegas. We just got home a couple hours ago and watched this video, and that's not how I remember Vegas being. Like,
no.
The way this episode is, like, that would be a lot more.
There was way more partying going on in this episode than there was when we were there.
Yeah, absolutely. The idea ultimately, though, for me in this episode was, it's kind of tongue firmly in cheek and whatever.
Oh yeah.
But the idea of skirting your responsibilities and spreading the party atmosphere spreads all over Earth, and they keep asking this question about this moon, this star or moon, this planet, whatever.
Yeah.
Jane Foster keeps asking, the light of this planet went out, and were you guys there? And he's like, oh yeah, everything's fine. We had a party. It was fine. And here, when it starts happening here on Earth, Midgard, the spread of the disease of partying kind of starts taking over, and they even kind of make a joke about the Pennsylvania Dutch or even partying, and it was just like, and it was kind of fun to see the cameos of everybody there and stuff, and the Guardians were there, and
Howard the Duck,
and Darcy got together. Yes, I didn't know I wanted that, but
this is the Duck.
Jane, being the full-on scientist, but it is actually Natalie Portman. Her being the scientist, but also falling for Thor, because Thor, ultimately, he is a good guy and is very charming, which is why when we get Party Thor, it's really easy to kind of fall into the Party Thor kind of thing.
Yeah.
But he's quite charming, and I just love that they kind of had the whole hangover scene.
Yeah.
Like, they woke up in the morning and shields at the door, and there's pink stuff everywhere, and they all got tattoos, and it felt like a Marvel hangover episode.
Yeah.
But there was also a lesson to be taught in here, and that is Thor did actually learn something out of this, and that was actually getting to know everybody in Midgard, and that was in his studying, because the Odin sleep joke was just subtly hilarious. Freya go over and poke in his face. Okay, he's asleep. All right, I'm going to go on sabbatical, and you're in charge. No partying. Make sure you're doing your studies. And then at the end, they make a point of, Mom's coming home. So we got to clean the house. And so Freya's on the way home, and they clean up Midgard, like all of Earth gets together. I love the the check is coming. Essentially, was what the scene was. Mom's coming. The check's here, and everybody like scatters all of a sudden, and then Thor does the good God of Thunder. The other thing too with this episode is, what if there was actually a fight with Captain Marvel and Thor? Like, who would win? Because they're both top of the spear Marvel fighters,
right?
And they both have superpowers essentially, and the idea of them actually going toe to toe and what it would take for one to defeat the other.
Yeah.
And neither one of them really ultimately having the upper hand.
Right.
Was kind of a fun, like, Marvel, like, and we're not going to answer this question.
Yeah.
Because I know the fans had that question after the scene from Endgame when he calls back Stormbreaker and it goes whizzing by her head and she doesn't flinch. And,
right.
And everybody's like, whoa, what would that fight be like? Well, here you go. We're not going to answer it, but this is what it looks like. We're going to take out Montana or whatever it was. Was it Montana?
No, one of the Dakotas.
One of the Dakotas. We're just going to take... And nobody knows. Nobody's up there. But I just like this episode. It's probably I like the previous one with Killmonger a lot more because I really love that story with Killmonger and Black Panther and everything like that. And this one is kind of a change of pace, kind of like what the zombie one was. Yeah. When you had Lang running around and telling all these dad jokes the entire time, and this was kind of in that
a palate cleanser.
A palate cleanser because we had a couple really heavy ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Doctor Strange and
what was the other one? There was another one that was really heavy. Doctor Strange one was really heavy. The zombie one was pretty heavy too, but with the dad jokes and stuff. But this one was a lot of fun, and I really kind of liked it. I don't know if it's one I'm like woohoo about, And,
yeah, I thought it was fun. Left us with a cliffhanger.
Yeah, so we'll have to go watch New Rockstars and see if they have it, if they explain who that is at the end. But it looked like Vision, but he had all the stones in like an Iron Man suit or a mech suit or something like that. And I love the and they lived happily ever after joke, and the Watchers like, wait, what? Huh? Wait.
And they did. Oh, but maybe not.
Yeah. And so I'm interested to see what that means. And I'm sure somebody somewhere knows every What If Marvel comic that ever existed and knows every detail, and it's like, oh my God, how you not know this? Because we just don't know, and we're learning, but we're not there yet. So that is our thought. Anything else?
No.
So that was our thoughts, reaction, thought process, and discussion, and whatever else that we end up doing on this show. For Marvel's What If Party Thor existed. Thor was an only child. Let us know what you thought of this episode and our discussion about it in the comments down below. Please be nice. That is a requirement around here.
Words
like
hard.
This video. I gotta go do so much editing. Or editing. Like, video, subscribe, bell, social medias, links. And until next time, cult members, good afternoon, good evening, and good night now.